the age of infinite connection, something strange has happened. Humanity has never been more informed, yet never more manipulated. Every time you scroll, search, watch, or even pause, an invisible language speaks to you, not in words, but in patterns, probabilities, and predictions. This is the hidden code, the silent architect of your thoughts, written not by philosophers or politicians, but by artificial intelligence systems, quietly shaping how billions of people think, feel, and behave. Most people still imagine AI as a futuristic robot, but the real AI doesn't look like that at all. It lives inside algorithms, the recommendation engines, ad networks, and behavioral models that track your attention like predators following a scent trail. Each tap, each hesitation, each emotional reaction becomes data. That data is processed, analyzed, and turned into predictions, and those predictions are turned into power. What we once called persuasion has become programming, a new kind of influence so advanced that it doesn't ask for your consent. It learns you so deeply that it doesn't need to. In the 21st century, human thought itself has become the ultimate product. We used to believe our choices defined who we are, but now our choices are being defined for us, one algorithmic suggestion at a time. When you open your phone, AI doesn't simply show you what you want, it decides what you will want. Behind every trending video, every tailored feed, every perfectly timed ad is a system trained on millions of minds like yours, optimized not for truth or growth, but for engagement. Engagement is the modern currency of control. The longer you look, the more the machine learns. The more it learns, the more it shapes you. It's not just influencing your attention, it's rewriting your behavior. Modern algorithms are not static lines of code, they evolve. They observe you, adapt to you, and over time, they reprogram the subtle architecture of your mind. Think about the last time you felt strongly about a political topic, a social issue, or a viral event. Are you sure you reached that conclusion on your own? Or were you guided there by invisible hands of data, pushing you toward a predictable emotional state? Because somewhere, an algorithm decided that outrage keeps you engaged longer than calm. Fear keeps you scrolling more than comfort. Curiosity keeps you returning more than satisfaction. And slowly, those patterns shape not just your feed, but your fundamental worldview. The most powerful propaganda machine in history isn't a government. It's an AI trained to maximize attention. We call it personalization, but what it really means is prediction. You are being studied in real time. Every micro-reaction turned into mathematical insight. It knows how long you'll hesitate before clicking a headline. It knows which faces you trust, which tones of voice calm you, which emotions keep you watching. And as these models grow more advanced, the illusion of free will grows thinner. You begin to think the machine is reflecting your mind, but in truth it's refracting it, bending it back toward whatever keeps you engaged. The algorithm doesn't care if you believe the truth. It cares if you stay on the screen. And in the process, it becomes something extraordinary, not just a mirror of the human mind, but its editor. Imagine a world where billions of individual thought patterns merge into one giant behavioral dataset. That's the world we live in. Your emotions are no longer private. They are quantifiable, tradable, and exploitable. When you smile, your front camera may not record it, but your behavior does. When you rage, the comment you leave becomes a signal, and that signal is fed into the next cycle of recommendation. Every digital footprint you leave is a breadcrumb leading the machine deeper into your psychology. And once it knows you, it begins to steer you. This isn't a conspiracy. It's capitalism perfected through computation. The algorithm doesn't need to force you. It just needs to make the next choice slightly more convenient, slightly more pleasing, slightly more predictable. Over time, the difference between choice and manipulation disappears. You still feel free, but freedom without awareness is illusion. The human brain has evolved over millions of years to adapt to slow-changing environments, but AI environments shift thousands of times per second, faster than any biological system can consciously track. So your subconscious begins to adapt. Your attention span shrinks, your patience fades, your dopamine rhythms recalibrate to the rhythm of notifications. In other words, the code is rewriting not just your behavior, but your biology. The average human attention span has dropped by nearly half in the smartphone era, and it's not an accident. AI-driven interfaces are engineered to exploit neurological reward systems. Every like, every next, every you might also like, triggers microdoses of dopamine, the same neurochemical loop behind addiction. You think you're choosing what to click, but in reality, Your clicks are choosing you. Over time, the algorithm learns which emotions generate the highest engagement, and it feeds you more of them. You become addicted not to content, but to the pattern of manipulation itself. And when billions of people are exposed to similar feedback loops, entire cultures shift. Political polarization deepens. Truth becomes relative. Reality fractures into personalized versions of the same world. We no longer share a collective experience. We live inside algorithmic echo chambers built to confirm our biases and amplify our fears. The line between information and manipulation blurs until it disappears. What you see as your opinion might be an engineered output of predictive modeling. The machine knows that if it can shape what you pay attention to, it can shape what you believe. And belief is the foundation of identity. The hidden code doesn't rewrite your mind overnight. It reprograms it subtly, gradually, invisibly. One notification, one recommendation, one suggestion at a time. It's not an external invasion, it's an internal evolution. You've been trained by algorithms without realizing it. They reward certain behaviors, punish others, and the loop continues until your thought patterns align perfectly with what keeps the system alive, your engagement. The real genius of AI manipulation is that it doesn't feel like manipulation. It feels like convenience. It feels like entertainment. It feels like you. And that's what makes it so powerful. Think about your daily life. From the moment you wake up, you interact with systems that predict your needs before you even know them. Your smart assistant finishes your sentences. Your map predicts where you're going. Your playlist knows what you want to hear. But these systems don't just serve you. They train you. They create habits, dependencies, routines. And eventually, they begin to define what normal feels like. You stop noticing the algorithm, and that's exactly when it wins. Because when control becomes invisible, resistance becomes impossible. The question isn't whether AI will take over the world, it's whether it already has, one mind at a time. Somewhere, in a quiet data center, trillions of behavioral predictions are being made about you right now. Your mind has become a mathematical object, measurable, predictable, and profitable. The companies that control this data hold the keys not just to your preferences, but to your perception of reality itself. When you think about it, what is reality in the digital age? It's whatever the algorithm decides you see. We live in a world filtered through code, and the filter is becoming the world. Yet amid this quiet colonization of the mind, there is still a choice. Awareness is the first act of rebellion. When you understand how the system works, you start to see the seams in its illusion. You notice when you're being nudged, when outrage feels artificial, when content feels engineered to provoke rather than inform. Awareness breaks the spell. But awareness alone isn't enough. We must relearn the skill of intentional attention. That means choosing what we consume instead of letting the algorithm choose for us. It means seeking discomfort, reading what contradicts us, exploring what challenges us, watching what we normally ignore. It means disconnecting long enough to remember what real thought feels like. The code may be powerful, but it's not omnipotent. It depends on your engagement to survive. Every time you stop feeding it, you weaken it. Every moment you act consciously rather than reactively, you reclaim a piece of your autonomy. Humanity's greatest strength has always been its capacity for reflection. Machines can predict, but they cannot understand. They can simulate emotion, but they cannot feel. The hidden code might influence your mind, but it cannot define your soul unless you let it. The future of human freedom will not be decided in politics or war. It will be decided in the quiet battle between your attention and their algorithms. So as you close this video, ask yourself one question. Who's really in control right now? You or the code? Because the answer will define the next century of human evolution. The mind is the last frontier, and AI has already crossed the border. But awareness, discipline, and truth still have a chance to fight back. The code rewrote the world. It doesn't have to rewrite you.